My goal is to have this episode out before Taipei.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta push back the podcast. Thank goodness I set it up at Boston because I don't think I would have had time.
No way.
To set up. And then
Right.
Solidar was like, oh, my GA app got reskinned or whatever.
This is the only trauma that I've retained from this event. Is not. Well, yeah, we can do it either like on the show, or we can just
As the opener.
yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
It marks the
smart
opening of the podcast.
Yeah, see, there you go. No. That's pretty good.
Oh, mine was not bad.
Oh no, you ruined it.
How you doing, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the TM podcast, otherwise known as Trauma Moments. My name is Shinja, and joining me today is Lineage Ray Cam. How are you doing?
Woo. I'm doing okay. We had an event yesterday. Shinja and I just both woke up from our cocoons as beautiful butterflies.
It is. I
4
woke
p.m.
up. It is 4 p.m. But I woke up at 3 p.m. And originally the podcast was supposed to be at 3 p.m. And I was like, dude, I can't. Cam, we gotta push back the podcast.
I didn't even get out of bed because I knew it was gonna happen. It's like 2:30. I'm like, man, I should get up and take a shower, but I know it's not happening at 3. Yeah.
You got time.
Yeah, it was good. I woke up with a flashbang today for sure. Like I woke up. I didn't set an alarm, so I just like woke up naturally.
Me too.
Like true. Like 2 p.m. All the lights were on. The TV was still on. I was like, how did I get here? What happened?
What did you do last night? Like, what the?
I don't know.
Just left everything on. Okay, just gotta go bed. Yeah, but what Cam mentioned, we had an event yesterday. We're up in NorCal as the set for this episode is different than last episode. I think the idea is we're going to do this at the end of every event, and I'll just figure out some way. Right now we're in the hotel room. So we're in Santa Clara for the Norcal Regionals that happened yesterday.
Mm.
Yeah, and I drove up Wednesday. He flew in on Friday. How was the event? What do you think?
It was good. This is my second event working with production. It was weird. I guess I don't have the like routine down yet, right? Because we did Ascend Boston. You guys saw us after that. And this event was very different. This was a TM branded event. So normally when we do events like Ascents or Worlds or Nationals or whatever, they are like Weebs branded, and so we have to be very professional and do things,
It's a little bit more polished.
Yeah. And not to say that, obviously I'm sure you guys hopefully watched the NorCal stream. And it's still a polished production, but it allows us to be a little bit more like liberal, creatively, lets us experiment a little bit more.
We get to meme a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously you saw our brilliant casting crew is a little bit on the memeier side.
Excellent.
Yeah, they did great. They
Yeah,
did awesome.
Excellent team. 10 out of 10.
But yeah, it was fun, I think. As fun as a, like 13-hour production day can be. It was fun. We had a great team, not only the casting team, but we also had Eva and Snorlax to help with the production side. So like personally, my job felt much easier than in Boston, because usually when we do Ascents, it's, closer to just Shinja and I now.
Yeah, so for this event, we had a crew much larger than a typical Ascent. And funny to say, though, less than Worlds, which is normally the case.
Right.
Worlds really had a huge team, but like last year Worlds, we still like this regionals had more people than that. And but typically during an Ascent, it's okay. Cam, you handle X, Y, and Z station. I will handle the other whatever stations, and then we'll just kind of bounce around. This one, I was like, okay, Cam, you handle one station,
right?
And Eva, you handle one station, and Snorlax, you have you do one station. So each one had one responsibility, and we kind of because we had it's cursed because at Ascents we typically have the Friday to set up,
right?
We have all day. We come in at 6 a.m. and we get to leave at midnight, and we have the Ascent the next day on Saturday. For this event, we showed up Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and round 1 starts at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So we basically had, and the scale of this event was a little larger than a typical regionals. Because like before, 3 hours was actually plenty of time. Because all we had to do was set up feature match, set up casters, and then set up like 1 or 2 laptops, and then like that was it, right? It was not like we didn't have to set up interview cameras, we didn't have to set up anything else. It was just literally get the 3 cameras and feature match done, get the caster done, and then we're done, right? This one, scale was a little higher because, you know, TM sponsored, and we have a little bit bigger crew, and want it to be, again, more of a bigger production, but still keep it a little casual, right? And if you were there since the beginning of the stream, we were late.
Only a little bit.
It
was
well,
only
yeah,
a little bit.
it was a little late. But it's because like there was a lot of things that I didn't account for.
Yeah.
Or I thought I accounted for, and it didn't work out. So there was a lot of problem solving, and we kept pushing back. But eventually we didn't delay the tournament, which was like the biggest thing. Is I didn't want to like, oh, we can't start round 1 until we're done. It was okay, we were done, and then like 5 minutes later, round 1 was like, okay, they can start. So it wasn't that bad. But how did you feel about the 3-hour setup window?
Yeah, it's a strange like double-edged sword, right? Where when I am new, obviously, to doing production, personally, I want that sort of like trial by fire, right? And so it's nice to do something like a regionals that is a little bit less stressful. Like if something catastrophic went wrong and we messed it up, obviously
Whatever.
That would suck. But it is a regional.
Yeah, it's like
you know, there's not a company that is relying on us to deliver a product.
Well,
it
TM
just,
is
TM,
relying.
Not to say, it went well. But so it was a double-edged sword in the way that during the event, my workload felt much less than usual. And so that was nice, but also like, I'm not learning to do all those stations that I'm going to have to do in a couple of days. Surely we'll talk about that. But as far as setup goes, I think it was nice to be under that time crunch, and I think we did a pretty good job. This, as Shinja said, the scale was larger than like previous Norcal Regionals, but the scale was basically the same as what we set up for an Ascent. Like the equipment that we took from Boston.
It is. I pretty much took the Ascent setup, other than like the big stage lights and like banners and that kind of stuff, projectors or whatever. But pretty much the command center that was used at Ascent, I brought that. We brought 2 laptops. We brought 7 cameras, and like microphones such as the Sennheiser ones, and yeah, it's the triple caster box,
right? Yeah,
which is. This event was the reason why we bought it, and not to Boston. And again, I mentioned this in episode 1, but thank goodness I set it up at Boston, because I don't think I would have had time to set up at this event. There was no way, right? Because we were already late on things that I'm already used to that wasn't working, and I was trying to do my best to work that out. And the fact that if I had to learn a brand new piece of gear that we had so much trouble at Boston trying to learn and doing it at this event, I don't think it would have happened. I think we actually would have pushed round 1.
Yeah. But yeah, I think all things considered, getting everything set up in 3 hours is, I think, pretty impressive. I mean, the 2 of us did Ascent Boston. It took us about 12 hours to set up on Friday.
A 3-hour nap included?
3-hour nap included. And of course, we had some extra hands. And, again, shout out to our production team for the Norcal Regionals. But, us as a team getting everything set up in 3 hours, give or take, a little bit late, is pretty good. So I think that went pretty smooth.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, like having, and when you, which is like the double-edged sword, when you have like, 16 hours to set up an event, at a certain point, it is very spoiling.
Right.
Because you can go, I'm going to take a break. Or I can go at lunch. I can do this. You kind of sit there and go, what time is it right now? It's like 3 p.m. I don't need to go trade night. It's fine. I can take my time. So you do get to a point where like you don't like have to rush, right? And it just kind of pushes how long it really could have taken. But yeah, like you said, having that time crunch is like, oh, I can't push it, because if I do push it, the entire event also gets pushed, or like the stream just doesn't happen.
Right.
So you're kind of forcing yourself to like, oh, I gotta get the shit done, basically. And it definitely adds a lot of what was the word? It adds a little bit of I don't know the word. It's my brain is cooked. Yeah, something like whatever,
like
man.
that.
I'll think of it. I'll cut you eventually, and I'll figure it out when I think of the word. But yeah, having that time delay is very important, and not only for me, because I do get spoiled too, because almost always having this like 13-hour, 14-hour, 15-hour like time frame. Like for me, I don't care if I work that long. That's why if I have that time, like I will use it. Versus like I only have 3 hours. Like I gotta get things done. So there's a lot of pre-work that I did before the events, like setting up the OBS scenes, which didn't work, but but I had to set it up anyway. Yeah, but how did the 3-hour time crunch? Do you think it helped a lot?
I think
Taipei
so.
coming up, obviously, but
yeah, I feel more familiar with the equipment. As we said, coming from Boston to this event, it's basically the same setup. I'm gonna miss some of our setup that we're not taking to Taipei, but it was good to not have to ask as many questions. Like knowing where things are, knowing how to set things up is good. And again, we have the extra hands. It's important to prioritize as well, which I think is good to have this sort of shorter time frame to understand what's important. There are things that we skipped that we did in the Ascent Boston setup, but like that's just the way that it goes. When you only have 3 hours, we can double, triple, quadruple check everything when we have a whole day to set up everything, but you can't do that when you have 3 hours. You have to make sure that you do it right the first time. But yeah, I'm becoming more familiar with the things, and I think as events go on, that'll get better.
Yeah, this is the thing that I feel really bad about is so I come from like before production and TM32. I come from retail, so like formal retail. So like I don't know if you know Fry's Electronics, but that was like an electronics store.
Yeah.
And then I used to work at Best Buy,
Sure.
and those are bigger like corporatized like companies.
Yeah.
So we had training documents and like e-learnings, where it's just basically videos on how to do stuff, right? And so like having all of that enables someone to be successful, and now it's not like up to you, right? To determine if you're going to be successful or not, because like all the material's there, right? So that is like there's no excuse for a person to not be successful, because all the materials there, you can learn it yourself. It's there, the manuals, the safety docs, everything, how things work, how to set up things, all there. Then I come here and then I'm like, hey Cam, I need you to help me with production. He goes, yes, and I go, I have nothing to give you. You're on your own, buddy. So
every time I ask a question, he's very belittling and calls me stupid.
What do you mean you don't know it?
It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like I genuinely do feel bad, because like if I was in your shoes, and I obviously want to be successful at the job that I do get hired at, and it's like I literally just don't know how to work this thing. And it's even worse because I'm also like pretty good at Googling stuff, but I don't know what to Google if you just don't tell me, right? So not telling you the name of stuff, like how things work, or even the name of the gear so that you can Google how it works, is like I haven't provided that. So it's very I feel very bad. So this trial by fire is literally trial by fire, and you just like open up something for the first time. You go, oh, what the heck is that? Oh, okay. Like,
I think problem solving is an important skill, and like
totally, yeah. I'm having you. I'm testing your problem solving.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, all jokes aside, like if I don't know what something is, I ask Shinja, and he's like, oh, you do this, and he shows me how to do it. And I think, not to toot my own horn or whatever, I'm pretty good at retaining information. So you tell me something, and I remember it. I can't say that I'll remember my, hotel key, but like I will remember how to set up the lights to the camera or whatever.
You haven't asked me a question twice. That's the thing. Like, so I answer you once, and you kind of remember, except hotel room keys.
That's the information I have to dump to keep all the new information.
Don't worry, it's Taipei when we're rooming together. I got you.
True. He told me yesterday. I'm a serial hotel key forgetter. I did it, I think, twice in Boston. Only once so far this weekend, so that's pretty good.
Dude, we're only here
We're only
basically
here
for a
3
day.
days,
Yeah, but he DM'd me. He's like, I'm a stupid. And I the first thing I responded by is like, did you leave your key in your room again?
Like, yes. And he was like, don't worry. In Taipei, I got you covered. I'll tell you to go downstairs to get a new key. That's literally what he told me. So.
Yeah, don't worry. In Taipei, I'll have the room key so that if you lose it, I can go in there and verify that the key is in there and then tell you to go downstairs and go get a new key.
You did leave it here. Way to go, stupid. Go get a new one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm going to jump ahead. Today is the regional Saturday. Today's Sunday. And then we are flying out to Taipei tomorrow. And we have Ascent Taipei this coming weekend. It's the very first time. Well, no, I lied. This is the second time that I had an event, then I go straight to another event.
Sure.
But the first time wasn't, like, I wasn't doing production. So the first time was actually Norcal Regionals again.
Sure.
And then I drove down on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I flew to Singapore on that Tuesday.
Sure.
And this was for Ascent Singapore a while ago. But for that one, I didn't do production. It was more for Cherry was going to assist, and I was there to assist Cherry.
Sure.
So that was a little bit different. But technically speaking, this is my second time. But this is the first time where I am going from production in one event straight to a production of another event. And the setup process for that was a little like jarring and also very like mentally, I want to say mentally taxing, because before I even drove up here, because I'm flying out straight from SFO, I had to bring enough stuff for both events at the same time. And like, luckily, I'm not flying out the command center and big lights and all that kind of stuff. Thank God. To Taiwan. Well, actually, honestly, if I did, it actually would make things a little easier.
Oh, I would love to have the command center.
Yeah, that thing is goated. But it's really big. We have to freight it. But having what does the setup look like with the command center? And that's the Norcal Regionals. And then I had to think, what can I then take apart and then take with me to Taipei and then make a functional Taipei stream. So having that was like just sitting down, I was like, oh, what can I even do? Because the command center is pretty much the crux of my productions nowadays. Is it has a power unit to power most of the things, and it has my audio mixer. It has my I'm blanking. It has my router, and then it has my 24 port PoE switch. So I am before, and I'm running out of. Before, I was running out of Ethernet ports, which was crazy. So now that's like, okay, I have all the Ethernet ports I ever would need for now. So I just plug everything in there. I have XLR, inputs and outputs, all wired. I have storage compartments. I have tables. I have a portable NAS that I put in there. So now that I have cam, and also slowly we're starting to build up the team. So okay, we need a central point of storage so people videographers can dump footage into there, which we tested at Worlds, for example. So having all that, super nice and amazing to have. And then we go to Taipei, where I do not have this, but I still would like some sort of similar level of production. I obviously still have cam, so my equipment can't just be a solo man team. It has to be a 2-man team. So part of that was a lot of my equipment is rack mounted to that command center. So we have Netgear, AV router, whatever like that, and we have the Netgear switch or whatever, and they're all rack mounted and they're massive.
Yeah,
they're really big.
Yeah.
And theoretically, I could put them into a fly case and then fly it over. But it is just, again, another piece of gear Pelican case. I'm already at 4, so that would probably be my 5th one. It's really heavy, so I honestly might go over the 50-pound limit just by having this this brand new Pelican case. So that's another honestly probably $400 to $500 extra bag fee. So it just wasn't worth it per se. So I had to think about what portable router to buy, how many Ethernet ports is a necessity. So then I can buy a proper Ethernet switch that can house all of that. So yeah, it's just mental gymnastics, and thankfully, I for better or for worse, I knew I was going to Taipei a little early. I think it was about 2 months since I was like, okay, I've accepted the fact that I'm going to Taipei. So I had 2 months to prepare, and we ended up going with some Ubiquit. I think they're called Ubiquity stuff. They're a little bit of a brand new company. They're mostly for home networking, but they're known for well, nowadays they're moving towards like cloud-based stuff. But before they're very like you get the higher performance of like gear, but then they don't like control a lot of the stuff. So, for example, if you were to buy like Netgear, Asus, whatever router, especially now, like if you buy like a mesh system, you download an app, and then you go into the app just does everything for you. So if you wanted to configure this router that you spent probably $1,000 on or whatever, you can't. You can do basic stuff, right? But for example, let's say you bought a 3-node mesh system and your house isn't that big, right? So what you should do, especially if all 3 antennas are like at max power, they interfere with each other. So your internet will actually get worse, right? So what you should do is you then go into the settings and turn down the power of the antennas so that way it doesn't interfere. Well, most mesh systems won't allow you to do that. So now you're just cooked, right? Like you can't do anything. But Ubiquity would allow you to configure that. It will allow you to do other things and change a bunch of stuff. And nowadays you can go into like the cloud. So if you're not at home, you can kind of like configure and stuff like that. So we went with that company, and they're a little cute. I don't think you've seen it, but it is in the Pelican case somewhere. Sure. But you'll see it in Taipei, and it's like a little cute little box. And unfortunately, it doesn't come with Wi-Fi, so I had to buy a separate router for it, which isn't a big deal because I already had a router for my command center, or a Wi-Fi thing for the command center, because production routers do not come with Wi-Fi either. So yeah, just having that choice was like, oh, what do I buy? Like, do I go with this company? So much research had to go with making sure that, oh, if I take it to this place, can I just plug in a cable from the internet or from the venue, and does it just immediately work, or do I have to do more configuration to make it work? So,
especially when international too. I mean, like that's why the jump is so hard. You know, if we were going from Norcal Regionals to Houston, whatever, we just bring our whole setup. It's very easy. You just pack everything away. But because we are flying international, we have to be traveling a little bit lighter and have to, sort of prioritize what we can take, what we can't take.
Yeah, and even at like worst case scenario, if I had to fly to Houston today, right? Obviously, I can't bring the command center in time, right? So like the setup theoretically would be the same as if I were to go to Taipei, except it's in the U.S. So I can think about things more. I could
test
things, or even like at worst case, like, oh, what can I buy in Houston to make this work? I can do more research and look for stores, and like Micro Center is always my goat. There's no Micro Center in Taipei.
Yeah, true.
And so it's just like I basically, once I leave for NorCal, that's final. Right, like I cannot afford to bring anything else. I can't afford to get anything if I missed it. There's a couple things, right? Like if I missed a cable, like I can probably find a cable, but like one piece of critical gear, I probably won't be able to find it, right? So that one was a little harder to like wrap my brain around and think of all that. But I think the system that I ended up with, hopefully.
Well, this is perfect, right? Like everybody who's watching the show right now will get one of two stories in about a week when we make the episode for Taipei. It's either Shinja's a genius, he remembered everything, there was no mistakes, everything ran smoothly, or the opposite.
My goal is to have this episode out before Taipei,
right?
So I'll be doing a little bit of editing in Taipei when we get there. So hopefully you'll see this. And it's like foreshadowing,
right?
And then,
either good or bad.
Yeah. And then next week, I'm very, very sure that if I do forget something, Discord will find out. So I'm hoping that this episode comes out before then.
Sure.
So you watch this episode, and then you're kind of like waiting in anticipation, and then any kind of Discord shenanigans happen, and then the Taipei episode will come out, which is next week. But
hey, let us know how much confidence do you have in Shinja? Let us know in the comments. Give us a yay or an A.
I'm not confident with myself.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's yeah. I think but what did make it easy was the journey to this point. So especially preparing for Worlds, we a lot of the production budget does get allocated to Worlds. So trying to problem solve for that event, but a lot of the equipment that we do buy obviously ends up being reused. So for example, we bought these Sennheiser microphones. These are the wireless, I think AVX or something like that. Microphones, and we have 6 of these.
They're very nice.
They're very nice. I was not meant to get 6 of these. I'm gonna funny story about these. So we wanted 4. So 1 is for the host.
Yep.
And then we had up to 3 guests, or at least because these are removable batteries, and they're interchangeable, right? So okay, if we ran out of battery, we charge one, we get to put them in the other microphone, or we get to pair it with the other receiver or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So we bought 4, or the intention was to buy 4. We found 2 online, and it was okay, we buy them pretty easy. Then we have a local camera store, and we go over there, and okay, we need 2. So we buy 2, but they're special order. So they don't. The store didn't have them, right? And they had to get them from Sennheiser. So, but we had to pay for it. And special orders are non-refundable.
Sure. Oh.
So we buy them, and they're like, hey, we bought this a month before the event, by the way.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, it'll be here in 2.5 to 3 weeks. Perfect. And it's oh, you'll get a call or an email whenever it gets here. Fantastic. So pay for it. Forget about it. About 2 weeks later, I don't have a phone call. I don't have an email. So I call them. They're like, oh, it's not here yet, but we will for sure let you know when it gets here. Okay, that's fine. Now it's 3.5 weeks. So now Worlds is less than 7 days away, and I still don't have them, and they still don't have it. And now I'm at this point, I only have 2. Right, and I was that is not enough, because we were planning to have at least 1 more person. So 3 minimum was a 3, right? We're man, I can't believe, and these are very expensive. These are I think they're $1,000.
Jesus.
For the system,
yeah.
Right? So I look at Ken, and I was Ken, I really, really, really need these microphones, and I really don't think these are going to come in time. So on Amazon, they had 2, luckily, in stock, and they were going to arrive in 2 days. Also for another $1,000. So we bought them, and got here. Obviously, Worlds was great.
Yep.
We used them, paired them up with the mic flags. They look very
nice.
nice.
So the others didn't show up in time?
No.
Oh, okay.
So for
that was
Worlds,
my assumption.
No,
they were going to show up the day of.
No. No. So we have 4.
Sure.
Right? And the other 2 before Amazon was bought a while ago, right? So their return policy is now gone.
Right.
Amazon's return policy was pretty liberal, but whatever. And so we use them for Worlds. After Worlds, I still don't get a call. We do AX. There's Worlds into AX. Still don't get a call.
Yeah.
AX is over. Still don't get a call. We wait 2 weeks. Still don't get a call. End of July. Don't get a call.
What the?
Then I go, we should probably go visit the store, because I would really want to know what's going on. Or maybe we're stupid, and maybe they don't have our phone number or email, and maybe so they really couldn't. And by the way, I didn't call them since then. Right?
Why?
Because I didn't want to bother. Because to be honest, it was non-returnable. I already had 4.
Sure, whatever.
Right? I don't really need them. Yeah. I have other things to do. Right?
Yeah.
So I didn't call them. So they probably was okay, on the off chance they didn't have my phone number, and the off chance they didn't have my email, they're probably waiting for me to call back, right? But I didn't call back. So we just fuck it. We're just going to go. So we went to the store. We walk in. It's hey, by the way, do you have the microphones? And here's my order number.
They're right here.
Oh, actually, so here's what's happened. So we got 1, and you ordered 2. So they didn't order the second. They didn't bring us the second one. So I had to wait for the second one. And it just showed up. I'm like, what do you mean it just showed up? This is like 2 months after whatever I paid for them. So yeah, and that's
Now you have them.
By the time I got our fifth and sixth one, obviously that's no return policy. The first two, pass return policy. The Amazon one is now also a pass return policy. So now I'm stuck with 6 of these.
Think of the possibilities.
These are really nice microphones, though.
And we can do
We're
a
shooting the podcast.
6-man show.
True, and I do have. It's really funny because we are recording this on a Zoom F6 audio recorder. It's a field recorder, and it's separate from the camera. It's meant to be portable and stuff. It has really nice features. It's also a 6 input recorder.
Perfect.
It's pretty. It's all according to Keikaku.
Yeah.
I bought this thing a year and a half ago.
Just worked
with
out.
With the intention of buying 6 microphones and not returning them. Yeah. But yeah, that's the small story about why I have. But these are really good microphones.
Yeah,
they're really nice.
Yeah.
And they're very, very I guess modular.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually unscrew this, like the top,
Sure.
and buy a different capsule.
Oh, interesting.
And then change the profile.
Sort of tone, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have to buy a brand new wireless system.
Mm-hmm.
I can just buy different ones of these capsules. Pretty nice.
Nice.
The capsules are also like $1,000, so
Yeah,
you might as well. It's basically the same as buying a microphone, but the possibility is there. So,
And these are the ones that you guys see us do all of the interviews with.
yeah, and the learning curve for these were. I'm not an audio guy, so the learning curve on like how to use this and how like the receiver and things work was a little challenging, but I think I've got it. So hopefully, like Worlds, like we also obviously the Worlds stream had a little bit of audio issues, but I think since then I've learned how to not peak these microphones.
It'd be so funny. This whole episode is just like horrific.
Well, I'm looking at the audio meters. And
Yeah, it
it's
looks
not
all right. Yeah.
going red. Thankfully, all I see is green, so it should theoretically be fine. So Taipei is going to be interesting whenever I have all these systems in place, and TM is in this weird spot where, originally TM was supposed to go like U.S. events only,
Right.
And that's including event organizing and production.
Yeah.
And then that kind of slowly evolved to North America. So now we're kind of helping with like Canada, for example, like Toronto and now Niagara Falls.
Mm-hmm.
But that one is like we're not organizing the event. We're more advising the store or our partner over there that is helping us. But I'm probably still doing the production. So at least I will be flying out.
Yeah.
I did it for Toronto. I'm fairly certain I'm going to do it for Niagara Falls.
Yeah, our peek behind the curtain is a couple months ago. When Shinja offered me this job to do production. We've been in talks for a little bit, and he was like, "Okay, here's the schedule for the next couple of months, and there's like a 50% chance that we do Niagara Falls." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then some time goes by. I see Shinja in Boston just a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, "Okay, here's what the rest of the schedule for the year looks like." And there's like an 80% chance that we do Niagara Falls. I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, you let me know." And then I get a message like a week ago that's like, "All right, so listen, I think there's like a 95% chance we're doing Niagara Falls." So I think we'll be there.
Yeah, now it's like a 99%
Oh,
chance
okay,
that we're
sure.
going
True.
to Niagara Falls. I'm already looking at flights and the cursed.
Oh,
There's no
it's the
direct
worst,
flights to Niagara Falls from LA at least. So
From anywhere, really.
yeah, so it's like, okay, do we fly to Buffalo and then drive over? Do we fly to Toronto and then drive? So whatever. To add on to that, actually, when I first was talking to Cam about this, it's all right, Cam, I need production help. Just letting you know, this is only for U.S. events.
Yeah.
And this was like slightly before Worlds, right? So I'll be like, okay, so you will be basically casting Nats, I think.
Yeah, it was before Nats and Worlds.
Yeah. So okay, so it was like, okay, so Nats and Worlds was the 2 events that you will be qualified to cast.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm gonna place a ban on him that he will not be able to cast once he starts working for me, even events that I will not be there. So no SCA events, no Oceania, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, cool. So hey, that means Boston, you will not be. Boston will be the one event you'll be working. technically speaking, Niagara Falls is not in the U.S. So even if I were to do it, you will not be there. Aki, you will not be there. Auckland, whatever, right? So he's like, okay, only one event for the rest of the year. Perfectly fine. I'm like, okay, fantastic. Gets him on, gets him hired on. Slightly before Boston, hey Cam, by the way, how about I change the scope of work and you're now doing Boston, which you've already expected to do. But are you free for Taipei?
Yeah, I think it was. Shinja has this bizarre trait where he sends me very important things. Even when he offered me the production job, sends me very important things. And I'm on the East Coast, he's on the West Coast. But like my time, it's like 4 a.m. I get this like giant paragraph. I'm like, what is this? And so,
why are you awake, man?
Yeah, well, that's true.
That's your fault.
So yeah, he sends me a message that's some deranged emote on Discord and says, "How you feel about Taipei?" I was like, "All right." And here we are.
And it scaled to I think I need you for Taipei.
Mm.
I think I need you for Niagara Falls, and I think I need you for Aki.
Mm.
And he's like, oh, okay, that's
Exciting.
obviously way different than the initial scope of work that I've onboarded him onto.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, well, let me look at my schedule and stuff and figure it out. He came back saying, oh, that's fine. And I'm like, great. Well, since you're flying out of SFO, how about I just fly you out to Norcal Regionals so you can get an additional event to learn all my gear. And that's why I have this bozo now for about
2 weeks. Yeah.
It's going to be
We're on the
fantastic.
boys' trip for 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, yeah, the scope of work definitely has increased. And obviously, it's not like I knew. It's not like I knew about it and then told him late. It's just I didn't even know that I was doing.
It goes both ways, right? Like your scope of work change means my like it all goes down. Like Ken's scope of work change, which changes yours, which changes mine. So
yeah,
that's the way it goes.
It's cursed. Yeah, but yeah, so it's like TM's is a weird spot where like going into the next year, like me, Ken, Cherry, and the rest of the TM crew, and obviously talking. Well, internally we have to talk about like what we want to do, and obviously our company's scope of work is now changing since we've initially signed on with Weeds of the Shores, and then we need to figure out what we need to do or what we want to do to become successful, and not only like internally, but when like Weeds of the Shore is like our close friend, but also technically speaking is our professional client. So how do we change and adapt to meet the needs of our clients, and then so that's like a conversation internally, but also with Weaves of the Shore and figure out like what our scope of work is for. Generally speaking, we plan out for the year, and usually it's between worlds to worlds. Yeah. So our scope of work, actually in the beginning, it was a little interesting because our first event was Ontario. Yeah.
Way back when.
Yeah.
Ontario, California.
But before we became but before we became an events company, we were just a YouTube channel. Yeah. Just
ripping Weishwarz boxes.
Yeah, and we felt giga sad for the Weebs of the Shore people at Ascent Houston. So we're like, please let us help you. But since then, it's like, okay, from between that world and then this world, it's like, what is our scope of work and what do we do? And then now it's like, okay, between that world and Singapore, we've already established what we're going to do. But now we're thinking about, okay, between Singapore and the next worlds, what else are we going to do? Are we going to maintain? Are we going to increase? Are we going to take a step back? I don't know. So that's the thing that actually we need to talk about after I come back from Taipei. Yep. So we've been having that chats, and like me personally, I've been like right now I'm like just the talking straight production in terms of like broadcast, right? So anything that goes on a screen, I'm responsible for at an Ascent and nationals or whatever, right? Yep. But recently now I'm getting into, okay, what do other events look like, right? What's the resources that I can manage to give them, right? So before it was casters, I'm picking casters for them and going through the final process of vetting and okay, this is the vision that I had for that event, so these are the casters that I want to send to that event. What's the budget to accommodate all that, right? So now it's like, okay, for Oceania, we'll provide them with some money and some gear to elevate their level of quality to the standard that I like, a minimum standard that I have,
Mhm.
and then go from there, right? So which is why previous Oceania streams were like, whatever, and then the most recent Auckland, I think it was Auckland, or it was the Nationals. I think it was
Yeah,
Nationals.
nationals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so the national streams looked, a little
It's good,
better,
yeah.
and I think it was like, okay, cool. Minimum standard was a little mad.
Right.
You kind of go from there, right? And then same thing with SEA, and we're trying to provide gear, and especially if I'm gonna go there, like I'm having them focus on buying gear that I cannot bring, like C stands and lights and all
Right.
that kind of stuff.
Just not feasible to ship all that.
Exactly. So it's like the things that we were trying to shuffle around are a little different, and it's getting organized. So, and then now going for the next year, it's like, okay, do we still maintain that the partners have to bring up their own producers? Is it just does it just make more sense to send me to every event,
Right.
just to keep that consistency the same? I don't know. Well, I think I know the answer to that question, but
I also know the answer to that question.
but currently, I don't know. Yeah, so it's like a lot of thinking, and obviously, like my role from that point onwards is also like outside of the screen. I should be responsible for, like, what does the stage look like if you're in person? What's the spectator area look like? Is there any lights? What's the special show? Labor, so like Cam, and any additional people that I may or may not hire, like I will then be responsible to hire them, and
Right.
what's their pay, and making sure they're taken care of. So my responsibilities is like, okay, what is slowly not only rising, but like, like I'm starting to build what those are, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's very interesting to see what the rest of the year is gonna look like, and you are gonna come along for the ride.
Yeah, at least for the foreseeable future, until he decides the scope of work changes, that
Again.
I'm not doing a good enough job, and he wants to give me the boot. But yeah, it's going to be exciting rest of the year, and you guys will see us at basically everything until the end of the year, which is cool. Taipei, Akihabara is going to be really, really big, and so we're working hard to make that a really cool production, not only because it's going to be such a huge event. It's like, 800 people or something, which is insane. But we know that, Taipei included, but like Akihabara mostly for all of the weebs out there. We know you guys like anime or something. And not everybody can make it to Japan. Like I wasn't going to be able to make it if I wasn't working. And so we want to make it like a really cool stream for people that are at home that aren't able to make it, can really feel like they're a part of the experience.
Yeah, and that's like my goal, right? And it's like, it's really funny because for Ken, Cherry, Roxanne, and like that team, their goal is they want to make the event as cool and fun as possible, and kind of give you the FOMO, right? Of like, oh, I should have been there.
Right.
And honestly, the stream, like my side, is very similar, and it should be the same. But I have my own personal goal of like, I want you to feel like being there was the worst part of being there, and I should have just stayed home and watched the stream, right? So how do I make the stream look really, really cool, and what's really fun about it, what's super informative, like everything, right? And obviously, I'm not going to make the event look like crap, right? But, what's like the cool little tidbits that I can do for the stream, interviews, exclusive interviews, or like what's the cool vendor, side events, what's the cool little thing, behind the scenes stuff, whatever, right? Like I just want to make it really, really cool, and like for example, Worlds was like the actual execution of what I think a stream should be, right? And I feel like a lot of people, there was a lot of positive reception to that vision. Obviously, I can't really do that with all the events so far yet.
Problem.
Yet. But yeah, that's like my goal, and obviously, the end of the day is like we still want you to go to the set.
Right. Well, yeah, I think Worlds is a great example of that, and I think a really good barometer, right? And obviously, people out there watching come to these events, and have been on either side, watching the stream or being there in person. But very rarely, at least in my personal experience, before GA, playing other games, whatever, there's never a time where I went to an event, and then after the event, would watch the stream, right? And I think I heard that a lot anecdotally about Worlds, that like people that went to Worlds, the stream was so good that they went to the event and then they watched it afterwards, which I think is a really good barometer of, us making something that is irreplaceable, right? Like, even if you are at the event, you cannot get the stream experience, and you do want to get the stream experience, and I think that's really important.
Yeah. But we're like kind of off topic. We're not talking about Norcal Regionals anymore.
Right.
But
Yeah.
going back to Norcal Regionals, I think that was a kind of an example of what we kind of want to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you mentioned earlier, like Weebs of the Shores, like their ascent streams and stuff is going to be more polished, and every stream is going to be professional, right? But like, what's the vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think ascent streams, they do look professional. They look polished. They feel polished. Everything about it is very meticulous. Sure. But with the Norcal Regionals, like, we insert like, my favorite interviews with you and Ken.
That was Ken's brilliant idea.
Yeah,
so stupid.
So like stuff like that where we get to explore stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really, really funny, and we try to bleed a little bit of that into the Ascent streams, but obviously there's this level of like, I can't really cross the line. Like, I don't know where the line is between what we want versus what they want. So like, we're very hesitant in pushing, that line, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Norcal stream was very
cool. Yeah.
very fun, and there was a lot of ideas that we had for this stream that we did execute on, but there was a few that we didn't execute on, and actually a lot of them were actual testing for future streams, actually, for Ascend. So like doing those like interviews with not winners, right? Like, I think we did an interview with Lee, who was playing at the event, but typically was like usually a judge, and usually my feature match judge.
Sure, yeah.
And also we did delayed interviews with like Benton, who won round 1, but then we didn't have time, so we interviewed him at like round 6 or something like that. We did deck tech videos, which
those were really cool.
Were really nice, and I think those are the types of videos that we would like to push onto the Ascent streams, not only because they're cool, but also it helps me kill time.
Right.
So it's a lot of things, and I think the reception was good, though. It doesn't have it. The Norcal stream didn't really have the as wide of an audience that a typical Ascent stream has, but I think slowly, as the days go by, more and more people will kind of watch the stream and stuff like that. But I don't know how you felt.
Yeah, I think so.
Movements.
And something that you had said, talking about that sort of experience for the viewers, right, is that you want somebody to watch a stream, whether an Ascent stream or a Norcal Regionals, and be like, this is a TM production. I can tell by the quality that this is something that's being put on by TM32. But when you are doing something that is not client-based, in the case of Weebs of the Shore, and it's more personally a TM project, you want that personality to bleed through. And that's something that you can't necessarily do in a professional setting. And I think we did a good job of adding a little bit of the memes to the Norcal stream to make it feel a little bit more personally TM with that same level of professionality.
Yeah, and what was really funny was we pulled a lot of our TM players out. Yeah, and we have asked them to. We basically farmed them for content, and we kind of told them like, hey, like, this is supposed to be a meme thing, but it's also like, you're in front of a camera, so don't be like super weird, right? Yeah. And for better or for worse, they're also not experienced casters. Right. So our casters were Peter, Jed, Sebastian, Christian, or Duckats,
Sean,
and Sean only cast like 2 games, right? But again, they're not professional casters, right? So they were a little like uptight and stiff and not sure exactly what to do. But I'm like, okay, like, they're just nervous, or they just don't know whatever. Like, I was kind of, usually I'm like, if you're stiff, I tell you, like Cam or whoever, if I'm in Ascent, it's like, hey, I need you to up your energy or be a little bit more excited or more animated, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. This one's like, hey, whatever, like, I'll just let them be. They're also very good players, so I think they did say a lot of, or I think they said a lot of like good lines.
Yeah,
and
the analytical side was very good.
Yeah. Sure. Come to find out, Is it like round 6?
It's a 7-round event, by the way.
It's round 6 or like before round 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jet is a very like animated person, and he's very like he's a zoomer, so he's like very troll.
Sure.
He says a lot of slang, right? It's like, oh, you're cooked, yeah, those kind of stuff. But I've noticed that he didn't say a lot of those.
Yeah.
For the entire day,
Mm-hmm.
he's very like chill, very monotone because of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, Jet, you gotta be more meme, man. Like, be more animated. Like, come on. Like, where's all your like lingo and stuff? And he looked at me, and go, what do you mean? Like, I thought I was supposed to be professional. I'm like, what do you mean? We told you you're supposed to be casual and Mimi's like, oh, I was told I had to be like, clean and professional, which is why I didn't want to like say anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was just kind of sitting there, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, like, no, just be
Be
as
yourself.
long as you like don't curse, like just be yourself.
Let one of those slip.
And so he's like, oh, I was like, okay, and I think round 7 was like them unlocked, right?
You could
And
tell for sure.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
Jet was having fun. It was Jet, Sebastian, and Benton was
Yeah.
who guest casted. And personally, I think the round 7 was like the most entertaining
Yeah,
because
it was really good.
it was a good mix of, obviously they're very good players, so really good analytical lines and commentary, but also they were very making fun and having a good time. And Jet casually slipped an F-bomb, almost slipped an F-bomb, but hey, it was at the end of the event, so I'll let that one slide. But
I wonder if you could hear us
Like cackling?
like really loud. Like the both, me and Shinja just like burst out laughing. And I wonder if that came through on the mic. It's really funny.
Okay, so Jet didn't say the F-bomb,
Yeah,
but
it's
we
very
very
close, very
clearly knew that he was about to say it, and
Yeah.
he caught himself.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you could also tell on the broadcast.
Yeah.
But obviously, we both have monitors on, and we're both listening just to make sure everything is going right, and so he can understand what the casters and also the players are saying, so he can do the feature match last play card, and also make sure that I'm not going insane, and I can hear and make sure the audios are good.
Yeah.
So when we both heard that, we just started. It was really, really loud, like cackling. We were laughing so hard, and maybe I'll go back and
He
see.
immediately like turns his head over to look at us, which made me think that he could hear us through his monitors. So it was really good. But that's what it's about. It's about having fun and making it fun for the viewer. So
Yeah, and it's what's really funny about this one is if you did watch the stream, there's a lot of TM branding. TM. We're very like video game esque, and that's kind of where we came from, esports and all that stuff. So the theme of that overlay and the stream was more like 8-bit. Like retro, like that kind of stuff. So the starting soon, the BRB, all that kind of stuff were very pixelated. The music too was a very like 8-bit themed. And then when you get to the gameplay overlay, it looks very like Windows 98,
Yeah,
Windows
I love it.
XP, like that kind of
Brings
stuff.
me back.
Yeah, it's very nice. And if you kind of notice that the live counters and the player names were kind of nice, and we had a lot of information there. It's because I reskinned the GA app. Because I was like, hey, it's gonna be very manual. So can I color key out the live totals? Because there's no before the GA app, how to get the live totals was just gross, right?
Yeah.
Because there was a magic app that you could link into online. You can see the live totals and stuff. It disconnected so frequently. It was horrendous, right? And reconnecting to that was really bad. And then obviously player names, it's like, okay, we could do a text file.
Yeah.
Or text on OBS, but then that's like, I have to manually edit
Every
all that
time,
every single time.
You don't get the country flags. And
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all
all that.
pretty much gonna be U.S.
Well,
anyway.
sure.
But yeah, exactly. Like we had to do country flags, and then we had to edit the scores, right?
Yeah.
So it's just very manual. I wanted to get, make Cam's life a little easier. So trying to automate a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, we had an amazing GA app made by Solidar that kind of does all of that for us,
it's
right?
great.
So I basically cut out elements of the HUD app. So we had it open, but then you didn't see it. And then
Right.
Solidar was like, "Oh, my GA app got reskinned or whatever." So yeah, so like all of that was on the back end was the GA app, but is only possible because the elements of those HUDs were very consistently one color.
Yeah.
So I could color key it out.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the timer section, which is the bottom left corner, and the bottom right corner, which happens to be where the last played card is,
Yeah.
isn't one color. It is a background, like art. So I can't mask it out. Or, I mean, I could, but there would be like a giant hole or something like that, right? So, unfortunately, that had to be manual. How was the manual last played card
So
experience?
here's the thing, right? I am not afraid of hard work. And surely typing in card names individually instead of clicking on them on Solidar's lovely GA app is more work, but like not tremendous. I have to type in some card names. Most of it auto-completes. That's fine. The way that we had it running is we had a program. You would like open a file. We have a big file on the computer with all of the card images in it. You type in the name of the card. Obviously, like anyone who's used a computer before, it'll auto-complete. And you find the one, you click on it, it appears on the screen. Not a big deal. My trauma, this is the only trauma that I've retained from this event, is not doing the work. It's that whoever, and Shinja hasn't told me who, but whoever
It was not me.
whoever downloaded all of the card images,
Yeah.
quote unquote, all of the card images. I can understand if we're like missing some promo cards or whatever, but we were missing like, I'm going to say a solid 10% of the game. Some recollection decks, some like weird URs were missing.
It's not like random cards. It's like pretty irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like we're missing all of alters.
Yeah, no alter cards was horrendous. You guys can find I forget what round it is. It's like, it's round 2 because we had foam.
Yeah, and you played
screen,
Accursed Strength or whatever.
Playing Accursed Strength, and our casters, bless them, love them so much, are not super experienced, and so something that you can say on the cast if you have Shinja or myself running last played card for Ascent, you can be like, oh, if we take a look at X card, and if I'm listening to you, which I am, I will pull up that last played card. But our casters were looking for like a literal direct response, so they were like, can we pull up Accursed Strength? And they all like turned to look at production off camera, and we don't have any alter cards, so I cannot pull up this card. So they just sat there for like 20 seconds because they didn't know what this card did, and there was nothing that we could do about it. And that was, oh man, I don't love that.
For reference, this system is what I used to do.
Yeah.
By myself well, I don't even remember when the first time this app got announced or like premiered. I don't even remember now. But I know for a fact that Worlds last year we had to do something manual, and I know that US Nats before that Worlds we had to do something manual. So this is like a system that we've done before.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of familiar. I haven't used it in a while, obviously, but I am familiar with how it works. And yeah, I don't know. The files we wanted the rounded corner one, so it's not like I can go to.
And that's probably the issue, right? Why we didn't have altered cards is just like because all those rounded corner ones are made by somebody, right?
Someone scripted out all those cards, and then someone else then scripted to output a rounded corner version of that, and then made it into a zip folder.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to download those said zip folders, export or extract them all, put them into one folder. Is just so again, I didn't make it. So if we're
blaming
missing,
you, so, I mean,
if we're missing it, it's not my fault. But we were missing them.
It was a little unfortunate, and it came up a few times. We had quite a few Gojo players, and for some reason there was no Gojo recollection deck, which made it really hard. I could like pop up the Seryu CSR because that one's from the main booster set, but I could not get Azurite Fatestone because it just wasn't there. Artivore and Hwaji were missing, which is bizarre.
That one,
because those are main set cards.
Yeah,
I could not.
I don't
find
know.
them anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
there was definitely some cards that were. It sucks because a lot of the cards were very relevant.
Yeah,
in the
every
meta.
time. I was like shaking my fists. They were like, the one relevant card in this matchup is an alter card because it like just came out.
Yeah. Man. But Yeah, that was.
It was great.
That was fantastic. I had to make. No, oh yeah. So the file was rounded corners.
Yeah.
Right, but then the program that we used to display the rounded corners, if I had to crop them, it was square.
Yeah. So it had like
So it
little
didn't matter.
corners on it. So it's like
Yeah,
it
it
did
doesn't.
nothing.
It didn't
Yeah.
matter. Right. So I had to then make a mask anyway of the rounded corners. So I probably could have just downloaded every single card anyway. Like, it didn't matter. I could have just rounded the corners in the mask. So I had to manually make an image mask in OBS and add that as a filter for this stupid program that also wasn't color keyable because I was cropping them.
Right.
Like, bruh. So yeah, it's just a lot of like, and most of that actually was done before the event. And then when we set it up, it didn't work.
Yep.
So I had to reset it up. Like, the aspect ratio of the mask was
great.
like off. Like, it was fine on my computer, and then when I got there, it just was now wrong. So like the card was like cut off or whatever. So I had to like remake the thing, and yeah, so it was just.
These are the little things that we hope that you guys can now appreciate after watching the show. The things that people don't think about. That how many hours of time went into the stupid last played card layout.
That, and also like making sure aligning it on the OBS, like live counter, and then I had to download a Android emulator so I can connect to the HUD app. I go up to double digits to make sure that the double digits can fit into the box and making sure that looks centered. And what happens if the name is super long? Then I have to like shorten the name thing, and just like a lot of the testing that I have to think about, and all the variables that I have to think about, and a lot of the variables that I don't think about that happens and pops up. The wind tracker was just a layer on OBS that we had to.
Pretty clean though.
Yeah, it's like that was fine, but that's like a little like full. It's basically a full screen with a dot where the thing goes. So I just hide and unhide it. We had hand cams, sort of, for the event, but then the feature match is like 100 feet away,
very far
from me,
other side of the room,
and the feature match cameras, or the hand cameras, are powered by PoE, or Power over Ethernet, and also by NDI, so it sends the video feed over that Ethernet cable to me. I'm dumb, so I forgot to bring one of the 100 and plus feet Ethernet cables. So I only had one. So the idea was, okay, I'll send one line from my command center over to feature match, and then I'll connect that one line to the switch that I was going to use for Taipei. Like, thank God I brought it now. I'll connect it to that, and then both of the cameras would connect to that. Send over by NDI over to me.
Makes sense.
Connect that. Only one camera is discoverable, and I don't know what happened to the second one. So for a lot of and to me, hand cams were not a priority, right? So, it didn't work, I'm just not gonna do it, whatever, right? And we moved on, and that's why a lot of the stream didn't have hand cam.
Yeah, did we use them like
every once in a while?
ever?
Oh, once I fixed it, yeah.
Oh, sure.
But eventually, because it was plugged into the switch, so it was a switch plugged into a switch. I'm also not a very big networking guy, so I had an assumption that maybe it's only discovering one camera, so it's only discovering that, like, the first camera that's on that switch line. I don't know. Is that wrong? Is that right? I have no idea. But basically, it was a non-priority fix for me. So I was like, whatever, I don't care, right? Eventually, get to a point where, I have a little bit of time. So I'm going to try to fix things in order. And the fix for that was I'm just going to unplug it from the switch and plug it into the router. So the switch is a 1G router. So all the ports are 1 gig. The router there's 3 ports. Yeah, there's 3 ports that are 2.5G. So I just unplugged it and plugged into that. And then I now magically discovered 2. So it's like, I don't know why that happens, but it did, and now I had hand cams, right? So now I was like, okay, I gotta adjust the hand cams and making sure all that is working. One of the things that we had but didn't implement was lower thirds.
Yep.
Because I underestimated how often that I would have to
switch them
and make them and stuff. So I tried to do lower thirds for the TriCast. Just didn't end up happening, and didn't have time, didn't have anyone to keep making them in different iterations. So I was like, I'm just gonna not do it. just gonna have them. I'm just gonna have them introduce each other every single time, which worked out. Peter was like the dedicated host, so he kind of just
great.
I love Peter. He's very mindful and very like professional. He's like used to being on camera. He's like he's the SoCal dad, so
sure.
you know, good at taking care of some of the people there. And, but overall, I think Norcal Regionals, nothing crazy happened.
Yeah, I think overall pretty smooth. You know, like we said, little grievances, and nothing is ever going to be perfect. So, you know, anytime we do this show, I'm sure there'll be little things that you guys may not have even noticed, but like we notice, and you know, but that's always going to happen.
That's all the time. I know it's all the little things,
right.
And obviously behind the scenes is where a lot of the pain points happen.
Yeah.
Right. But one thing is usually you haven't experienced this, but me, Foam, and Eva have definitely experienced this.
Looking forward to it.
Is typically our internet always dies at this event. Always. And I don't know why. It's always a pain point. It has always been a pain point where we stream for like 3 hours or whatever, and then all of a sudden it drops. And we don't know why. But our internet solution was typically a hotspot. So we have a like a Nighthawk SIM hotspot thing. We go buy data for it or whatever, and it works until it doesn't, and then I try to restart it or adjust like bit rates or whatever. It kind of works, and then it dies again and whatever, right? So it's kind of like the bane of my existence. Like typically, it's just internet problems. Yeah. But for this one, because TM was sponsoring it, we wanted to make sure that it was a little like we had a little bit more budget, right? So we rented the same thing that we use at Ascense. Which is it basically like it's called cellular bonding. It bonds like Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile like together, so that way if one of the carriers drops, you have the other two, and it's not like a backup. It actually combines them all. So if each one does 5 megabit uploads, then on my end I will see 15. Super handy. It's
that's super cool.
One of the things that solved a lot of issues for me at Ascens since Chicago, which is the first time I've used this service. Amazing system, and thankfully at Norcal Regionals, no internet problems. Did at least as far as I know, no internet problems, nothing. It didn't die. So fantastic. Just another thing. I love that system.
That thing's awesome. It's great.
Fantastic. I could buy it.
It's a lot though.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
We haven't bought it because we don't go enough. We wouldn't be able to use it enough to justify buying it. Because it's not just you buy it once and it's done. It's you buy the system
and then you have to like,
and then you have to subscribe to like their cell bonding service or whatever it is, right? So it's like, okay, not only do I have to pay like $10,000 to buy this thing, box, then now I have to pay like $300, $400 a month to use this service. So how many events do I have to go to pay this off? Not enough right now.
Yeah.
Right now. So that's just, but I would love to have this thing. This thing is great, fantastic, and then it does come in handy too. If I were to go to like a regionals, something like this, then I'll just have it. If we ever go to SoCal regionals, we could just use it there. And
sure.
So it's just fantastic, and now we just have to wait for Taipei.
It's coming up. Today's our off day. I'm always a wealth of optimism, and so I'm thinking about today and what we're going to do tonight, and not so much what we're going to do tomorrow, which is fly for 14 hours. Shinja's trying really hard to get himself upgraded away from
it's
me.
It's not going to happen. I'm trying to get away from this guy. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, it's just like
I'm hoping it's empty. Everybody cancel.
I'm on the wait list, and then it's like position 6. And there's only 4 seats remaining.
He was position 5, so it means that somebody else who was more important than this guy got bumped.
I was position 3.
Oh,
so I was like, I was like
there.
basically guaranteed because there's 4 seats, there's 3 of me, like whatever, right? And then I checked back like I think on Friday or whatever, and it's like now position 6. I was like, oh, now it's cooked.
It's like not happening.
It's not happening. Whatever. It's fine. It's not like I was getting bumped to like business or whatever. It's just like better. It's just like more leg room, which is not a big deal. The seat that I already have is fine.
Yep.
Whatever. The outside of premium, like economy and economy plus,
they're all like basically
it's pretty much empty. Like the flight is pretty empty, so I'm not too worried.
Yep.
Unless magically like by tomorrow, like 100 people.
Don't put that evil out in the world. Like I don't need that. Yeah.
Magically 100 people decide to book a flight. Yeah, but like that's just like how my brain works. Is I always think about the next thing.
Yeah.
Right, and like making sure that how do I implement the OBS scenes in
Right.
Taipei, and what's the setup look like? Because I want to figure that all out in my head before I get there,
Right.
so that way we can try to preserve as much time as possible. Right.
Sure.
So that's just the way I think.
It's gonna go great.
You sure?
It's gonna go great. I'm sure.
At least internet's not an issue.
True. They have great internet over there. It's not a scam.
Yeah, internet in the U.S. from a venue is a scam, which is why I have this cell bonding thing. Yeah, we have wired internet in Taipei, so
awesome.
it's 300 down, 300
So
up.
good. Yeah, you just heard, Shinja talk about how impressive it is to have our Wi-Fi box that bonds these cellular signals to get our 15 up.
And I get 300.
300. Yeah, that's
20
pretty good.
20x.
Yeah.
And it's wired. It's not
Yeah.
even cell. It's not
great.
even wireless.
Can't wait.
Yeah, well, I had this when I was there for SEA Nats, which was
Mhm.
also in Taipei this year. I don't think I had 300, but it was still wired and still very good. So, my actually Taipei I think is ranked like number 2 in the world for like the fastest internet
yeah?
speed or something like that.
Sure.
When I bought my SIM, my tourist SIM, whatever, it was like faster than my house.
That's so good.
My house was like, I think I bought pretty fast. Like
Right.
that's like my house is like 300 or whatever down and
Yeah.
like 50 up or something like that. But
Right.
I got there, it's like 400 and like 100. I'm like, like holy, on my cell, yeah. So I'm excited. Taipei is really Taipei's fun. I like traveling, so
Sure.
it's gonna be exciting. Get to usually again like for now this experience is always new to me because like since like usually for a sense or whatever I'm usually doing production by myself. So having Cam and hopefully in the future a little bit more people and having a team is like a brand new experience for me. So it'll be interesting to see how I did SEA and hats by myself
Right.
and now I'm doing Taipei basically in this basically like the same event but now I have a second person.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to see how that goes.
I hope your life will be easier. That's my job, to make your life just a little bit easier.
I joke with you a lot too, but it's like it's not like anytime I hire someone, the intention of that person is to decrease my workload in whatever field, whether that's setup or feature match or whatever it is, right? But how my brain works is I'm max capacity, so therefore I hired someone to lower my max capacity.
Right.
Oh, that means I'm not at max capacity. It means I can do more things. So
Yeah.
now I can think about other things, and now I'm at max capacity again. Oh, let me hire someone else.
Yeah, but that's exciting too. It allows us to increase our production and do cooler and bigger things. And we got a little bit off topic and talked about worlds a bit on the episode. But as you said, I think that's a barometer of like how we would eventually like everything to look. And so the bigger the team gets, the easier that is to accomplish.
I'm excited to some of the reason why I have this podcast, other than to rant, is
Mostly that.
Yeah, mostly ranting. But is to kind of retrospectively look at what we've started before, and then also look into the future of like this is the thing that I'm planning, and hopefully it works out. I know that some people have expressed interest in like production and like what goes what goes on behind the scenes. So hopefully this adds a little bit of insight. I'm particularly excited for the Akihabara episode because that one is not only in Japan, my first time in Japan, your first time in Japan.
Very exciting.
But also we're trying to make that a little bit of a bigger event.
Baby Worlds.
Baby Worlds. It is a big event also in Japan.
Right.
I think a lot of the Weeps team is going to be there.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of TM crew is going to be there. A lot of regular people are going to be there.
Yeah, a lot of like English-speaking people are traveling, so it's going to be.
I think Akihabara is looking to be about a 700-ish event.
it's
It
crazy.
probably would have been bigger, but the venue itself is maxed out.
Yeah.
It is multiple floors. By
3
the way.
floors. Yeah.
It's crazy. That's a production issue. That's a production challenge that I will have to figure out after Taipei.
That's next month.
Yeah, that's a future me problem. But yeah, hope you guys are excited for the future episode. That's gonna be it for today. Hopefully, it's not as long as episode 1.
I'm looking at the clock. It's pretty long.
It's been
It's
not
just like, oh, let's keep it an hour maximum, easily an hour and a half, I think. But hopefully you guys enjoy.
It's
it.
like an hour and 20 minutes, I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Again, if you guys enjoy this type of content and podcast, please let me know in the comments so I can keep doing it. I think the reception for episode 1 was pretty positive, so it gives me hope to continue doing this. But if you want to hear more things about specific things, for this one, we tried to name drop a little bit more about the gear that I use, for a production podcast. I think that's important.
Yeah.
But if you notice that, I don't say things enough about names, or you want to hear more about different things, please let me know. And then the whole YouTube stuff, like, comment, whatever, subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever. Help me get a CPR, I guess. I don't know.
What the?
All right. Anyway, bye, guys. I'll see you after Taipei.
Woo.
Ah.